Hey nerds, welcome to episode 56. Coming up this week on the podcast, we have a long trailer train. We get a ton of news for Stranger Things Season 4. Darren defends She-Hulk CGI. Meg has got it bad for the boys on Season 3. And the whole crew is creeped out on Hemsworth's American accent. Plus, I nerd out just a little bit on the new movie Prey. Play that song.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm your host, Darren Stemple. With me, as always, is my co-pilot, Eric Hare.
Hola! No. Let it out.
Did that lag, or did he just lag on his own? Let it out. And then also we have the always lovable Morgan Santo.
How you doing?
So huggable.
Well,
he's so huggable.
So huggable. But also joining the host panel this week is Megan Bradbury.
Hey.
What happened to your
jazz hands?
Signature intro.
Signature
intro. And Bill Poor.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back, you two. Love having you two on. Thanks for joining us. And you can find us on our social media like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, all at the Nerd Rundown. And while you're there, please hit the like and subscribe buttons where available. Leave a comment, hit the bell for notifications when we launch our shows, so you can get that little buzz in your pocket. You can also listen to us on all the other major podcast services. Big week of news in the nerd world this week. Lots of trailers. First up is the first official teaser trailer for the new Marvel Disney Plus series coming out in August, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And I know we all have some thoughts on it, so I'm going to go around the panel. I'll start with you, Eric, and just know that any complaints about CGI is unwarranted. That's my opinion.
Wow. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I said
just say that.
Yeah, moving right along then, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to neuter any point that you may have had regarding CGI. This is interesting to me because I'm kind of a split mind on this show in that it looks fun. Like, it looks like a fun show. Like, I think this is going to be a fun show that's not going to take itself too seriously, and it's going to be like a weekly adventure show, and that's what I'm hoping out of it. You know, I really am. I thought like the CGI did look really bad for her, you know, and I think we had discussed this during the week, kind of over our chat, and I had read other people afterwards. I had read other people kind of said the same thing, which was that, you know, the computer model for Hulk is already built based off of, you know, everything from Avengers on, basically, you know, so that render is really, really good. That model is really, really good. So hopefully she will get better. And I imagine you're probably right, Darren. She probably will get better. But right now it looks awful, except for her one particular, or her opening sequence that we got to first see. Yes, her assets. I'm like, dang, that's a digital keeper there. So but yeah, I really, like, when I first watched it, I was like, God, this looks kind of stupid, you know. But then I watched it again, and I was like, you know, I think I'm being a little bit too hard on this. Like, I think this is just going to be a fun series, and it's not going to be like anything that I need to really, you know, be too serious about. So that's my opinion on it. You know, we'll see as they get closer to it, but But I think the title, I think, is what threw me off at first. The attorney at law, or, you know, at first I was like, why would you even throw that in there? Like, that makes no sense to me. And then I was like, well, I guess if that's her job, and then that's the angle they're going to go at, you know, like now we're going to get like, because later on we're probably going to talk a little bit about Daredevil. So now like the MCU is being taken over by lawyers. Like how exciting is that going to be?
Right.
That sounds awful, you know. But anyhow, I don't know. Morg, what did you think?
I would no. I'm not into this. So I don't know much about She-Hulk and her background. I never read anything with her. So I am a little confused as to why she's just volunteering for this experiment to become Hulk-like.
Well, do you want the background, or do you want to go with your take first?
Let me go with my take. So I don't understand why she's doing this, especially because she doesn't want to be a hero, which we know from the trailer. The CGI, I am going to bring it up. I know we can't count it, but there should be no excuse. When does this come out?
August.
There should be no excuses to why that CGI looks like that right now, especially for this company, this business. You know, I always think of the Sonic when it comes to CGI. That wasn't bad CGI. It was just the way they modeled him and what they wanted him to look like was bad. And then they quickly corrected it.
Okay.
So I like, it should have been released with her looking good with CGI. And I just don't care about this. Like, I don't know why we're getting this. We haven't even had a Hulk movie with Mark Ruffalo. They just scrapped the other one, you know. It kind of counts, it kind of doesn't. So, like, he hasn't even had his own movie. Now we're getting She-Hulk.
Two of his own. They both.
Well, yeah, the Ang Lee Hulk was way back in
We
the
don't
day.
count that. Yeah,
right.
That doesn't
I
exist.
mean, honestly, I can pretty much give you a counterpoint to everything you just said, Morg. One being, here's her background. Okay, so she is.
Counterpoints.
It's not necessarily wrong, just a different perspective. She is the cousin of Bruce Banner. Very, very smart person. Her name is Jennifer Walters. She's an attorney in law. And in the comics, she actually gets jumped and shot, and Bruce has to give her a blood transfusion. And that's how she becomes She-Hulk. And she, in the comics, is a almost Deadpool-like comical character. She breaks the fourth wall. She's very self-deprecating about her appearance. She talks about her big titties all the time. I'm going to get some flack from my mom on that comment, but it is a very self-aware comic character. In this series, I'm sure they will have to give a bit of a different backstory. In fact, you see a car accident, and I'm certain that she is in this car accident and has to get a blood transfusion from Bruce. And part of this, I think, actually takes place during the blip, during the 5-year period where people were dusted, and because you see. Bruce is not, he's a smart Hulk, but he doesn't have the arm. He's not in the arm sling like he is in Shang-Chi, or he's just Bruce in Shang-Chi's post-war mid-credit scene. So there is there's the reasoning for a She-Hulk character. Why we haven't got a Hulk movie is Universal actually still owns the solo movie rights to Hulk. And so when it is pretty dumb considering we have not have they kept the rights this long without having a solo Hulk movie, considering Fox had to give the rights back after not making a movie after a certain period of time. So there's that they are bringing in a whole new generation of heroes. The OGs are kind of moving out. You've seen Captain America pass his shield off. You've seen Iron Man die. You've seen Black Widow pass her batons off to Yelena Belova. Spoiler for Avengers Endgame. You've seen Hawkeye now pass his bow down to Kate Bishop. Thor is still out there, but he's not going to be on Earth very much. So, and then also now you're also seeing Jane Foster become the mighty Thor. So it is a bunch of the OGs just kind of bring, here's the new generation of superheroes that we're going to get. this looks really funny. I mean, it is it is supposed to be a like in the 30-minute vein of comic comedies. Excuse me, 30-minute comedies. Tatiana Maslany, the lead character who plays Jennifer Walters in She-Hulk, she looks perfect for this role. She was really funny in that scene. She's like, that's like the basis for just women existing.
Right.
My one complaint about the CGI right now is she doesn't have, in the comics, her lips are purple, and it like looks better with her hair, and so it's they gave her like human lips in this, and maybe that's still left to, that needs to be rendered still. But I will give the example of Loki. Loki, they were finishing, in the middle of a pandemic, and this was shot in the middle of a pandemic. They were finishing CGI effects up until almost release of that show. And if you remember, there was a scene in that show where Sylvie and Loki were sitting on like a rock, and it was like Armageddon for that planet. That scene in the trailer was a blurry scene. You could barely see that. Everybody actually thought that was Black Widow. Go back and watch the episode now. You could see the absolute detail that was rendered into that scene, and it took all the way up till almost release of the show. So yes, there's still time. I do question, like, hey, why show that much of a bad CGI? But I still I'm gonna have a little bit of faith, and Bill, I'll pass it off to you to see what your thoughts are, because now I've talked too much.
I mean, I'm gonna feel
not
bad.
wrong, Morgan, just a different perspective.
I'm gonna feel bad, Stemp, but I am completely on board with Morg on this one. I just have zero interest. I mean, my wife and I watched the trailer and we looked at each other and we're like, "This looks horrible." I mean,
I don't blame you for that.
The CGI is bad, but I also thought a lot of the lines in the trailer were really corny. There were some funny ones. And I'm like Morg, I know nothing about She-Hulk, but she kind of wasn't what I was expecting. I expected, like a bigger version of her, which, she gets a little bit bigger when she transforms, but I don't know. But if she's going to be a Hulk, I thought she'd be this like massive ripped Hulk, She-Hulk version. I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, I'll give it a shot. I would like to be pleasantly surprised. I'm just not like super excited right now about it.
I totally get that, and I'm not gonna blame anybody. It wasn't like, Marvel's known for their trailers. They're known for like blowing you out of the water and getting your hype up for their trailers. The TV series trailers haven't been the greatest, but
I
remember
definitely agree with
Loki
you on
and
that
Falcon
one.
Winter Soldier had great trailers. WandaVision had a trailer where like, what the hell is this? So but Hawkeye's trailer, Moon Knight's trailer never really got me all that hyped, and Miss Marvel as well didn't get me hyped. So I'm hyped because I love this character from the comics, and so I'm very hyped for that. Meg, what do you think from your perspective? What do you think about this show?
So my initial reaction was, this looks horrible, and just kind of meh. But, I think like Eric said, rewatching it, thinking about it, maybe I am taking it too seriously and I'm not really going about it from the right perspective. So I'm willing to give it a shot. But it felt like it would have been on like TGIF lineup or something, from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like it didn't have like a...
I like that.
I don't know.
You guys want to watch Cheese? How they make cheese, or She-Hulk? I don't know.
I get it. And I don't think that anybody except for Morgan here is wrong. So I will
I am 100%
move on. But
Fair.
Marvel, I love you. I love you. There are some things that are starting to worry me about the MCU. I think we can all agree with that. So
yes.
Although Bill, you didn't get a chance to defend your woman
let's
last week, so
let's not talk about it.
Let's move on to another TV series that I think we all are excited about. A trailer came out this week. The Boys Season 3 official trailer was released. I'm going to go back around the horn. I'm going to start with the person who I think is the most excited about this series on this panel. The Boys Season 3, Meg, trailer, what did you think?
I am super excited. I have my reminder set on my phone already.
That's exciting. Yeah.
I still really want to punch Homelander in the face.
Yes.
As I've said before, he has such a punchable face. Let's see. Oh, so I did make a note because I watched the trailer a few times and there was just so much going on, but I'm dying to know who fell off the tower and subsequently exploded when they hit the ground. But was it the guy that's running the corporation? Like, I don't know. I have so many questions. I can't wait till it comes out.
Yeah, this was a trailer that like got you asking some questions in a good way. Bill, what do you think was the biggest question coming out of the trailer for you?
Biggest question coming out of the trailer for me? I don't know. I sort of like the direction they're heading where, Billy Butcher, it was obviously teased that he gets these superpowers for 24 hours. And then that kind of raises the question. They were like, does that make you any better than them? I mean, you're sort of stooping to the same level that you're claiming you're fighting at. So I guess I'm curious to see where they go with that because that is an interesting take on it. I don't know. Getting to see Billy Butcher with superpowers is just exciting.
Cool.
We love The Boys. I mean, it's been such a fun show,
good.
And the trailer was just, I mean, people being vaporized, blood, gore, Homelander being an absolute psychopath. I mean, it's everything I wanted to see in a Boys trailer.
Hell yeah. You're really good at coming up with the plot twist. What's the plot twist this season?
So I'm just me. I haven't heard any rumors.
Okay.
I'm definitely thinking that it's gonna end with them having to fight Billy or setting up Billy Butcher as a villain.
Oh man.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think the powers are going to go to his head, or maybe something will happen and the power doesn't go away. So now he is a soup.
Does Homelander make a turn? And it'll be Homelander versus Billy, or?
I don't know. I don't think Homelander. I don't think we're going to get that with Homelander. I think this is going to be more of a deep dive into his craziness. But I am excited to see Soldier Boy. One of the Winchesters.
Yeah. Dean Winchester is one of the best porn names I've ever seen. That's not in a porn movie.
Very true.
Eric, by the way, what was Supernatural? The CW TV show is what we're talking about. We're not talking about actual porn. Eric, what did you think about the trailer in season 3?
I didn't watch it because I haven't watched The Boys at all. I haven't watched any of it.
Oh, that's right. I always forget this, and I think I forget it because I want to forget it, and I'm shocked that
I think other than Jack Ryan and the other Tom Clancy, Without Remorse.
Yeah.
I don't ever turn Amazon Prime on at all. Like none of the shows that they've had have like done anything for me. So I know I hear you guys. No, I never watched that either. So yeah, I mean I that's a Philip K. Dick piece, isn't it? Yeah, which I love his stuff. He is a cool dude. Like if you ever like listen to him talk about stuff, like the stories that he writes, he doesn't believe and all like thing. I know we're getting sidetracked, but he does not believe that those are like works of fiction. He believes that he actually lived that life, and he experienced that, and he's telling that story. Like all of his stories are.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. He's a really interesting dude. Like he could be.
What show did you say, Stemp?
The Man in High Castle.
The Man in the High Castle. Yeah. It's a really cool kind of what if show about if the Nazis won the war.
Yeah. So I don't really have anything. I got nothing for you on the Boys, so we can move on. So
I'm shocked every single time I hear that.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe you just forget to tell me.
I need to put it into the.
It is a show you need to add to the list.
Yeah.
It's in the vein of like Peacemaker,
it is.
Which I really liked. I really liked
even better.
Peacemaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eric
liked
would be
Peacemaker,
really confused about the cow milking scene then in this trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Anything like Luke Skywalker's milking?
It is.
Yeah.
No, but
Okay.
yes, as well.
right.
Next on the
Same
next on
amount
the
of sexual
rundown,
tension.
Yeah,
I will talk to you about this
exactly. Okay, I will move on to Spiderhead. On the next on the rundown, we got a Chris Hemsworth led Spiderhead movie trailer. It's coming out on Netflix here soon. Man, I think we brought it up during the CinemaCon show a few weeks ago, and got just a little snippet there. Holy shit! I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
And Chris Hemsworth really nailed his American accent there.
though. He looks sadistic. I mean, really, he looks very like this looks like a kind of a mind bender. You know, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. You know, but I love Miles Teller. I think he's gonna be awesome in this. Hemsworth's English accent is actually like American accent is. It's actually disturbing. Like I think, and that's actually what makes it a little bit creepier. I think is like listening to him talk that way, not just the stuff that he's like doing, and I mean you could tell he's like running some sort of sadistic program there or whatever. But it looks amazing. Like I think
It really does.
I think this may challenge. We'll see. This may challenge the Netflix. You know. One leg
Throne?
longer than the other issue, you know, like this may be this may be a complete movie. I don't know, you know, this but from the trailer, this looks like a complete movie to me. It really does. So
It does. It
yeah.
really looks good.
so I am really stoked for this one.
Banger.
Like I cannot wait for this one to come out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Oh yeah, Morg, you excited?
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited. This looks like an original idea as far as something we haven't really seen on the big screen. Not 100% sure what the premise is. I know that Chris Hemsworth is running something that doesn't seem kosher. So definitely check it out. And I am hopeful that this will be a Netflix movie where I don't finish it and go, I just feel like something was missing. Something was off. So I'm hopeful.
Did you feel that way after watching what's the other Hemsworth Netflix movie that's amazing?
I watched it.
Yeah. The
Extraction.
Extraction.
Yeah, that was
I have not
yeah.
watched it, so
Yeah, that was really fantastic.
I heard it's good.
We're
Yeah.
good.
I heard it's good for you guys because you're always talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Bill, Spiderhead, get your fancy.
I'm super excited. So I'm actually glad we get to talk about it because like 2 or 3 days ago, I came across, you know, I was scrolling on Facebook and it popped up and I watched it and I kept having to rewind because his accent threw me off that much. And I was like, is that him talking? Like, that's not somebody else doing like a voice.
Right.
It was so weird. And I sent it to my wife and she was like, oh my God, this looks amazing. And it's funny you brought up, Eric, the whole, you know, Netflix situation going on, because she was like, let's wait to cancel Netflix until after we watch this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Good one.
But yeah, I'm really excited. This one looks awesome. I can't wait for this one.
I am very excited. Meg, is this on the list?
Yeah, definitely. I was making little notes, and my note just says yes. So I'm definitely.
It's
It's a good note. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really want to read the
tells you
short
everything.
story that it's based on, because you know I like those dystopian kind of things, like the Hunger Games and, you know, that kind of stuff. So this is kind of in that same vein of that dystopian kind of future stuff, like The Giver and that kind of thing. So I'm definitely interested. But yeah, his American accent is a little off-putting.
It's just weird. I was trying to think, have we ever got? I don't know if we've ever got.
I don't think
an
we-
English accent.
He had something in what was it called? A Bad Night at the Casino or whatever that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hotel Royale.
Yeah,
Hotel
something like that.
something,
So
yeah.
So I think it
He
was
did
like
in
a
that one?
southern accent or something in that. Yeah, but it was.
Yeah,
not
he
just
had
your
that
standard
southern-
American.
Yeah.
It was but it still was like a bit of an accent. So it like our
It's like-
normal
yeah.
American accent to hear him. I don't know if we've heard him with that. So it was
it's
really
weird because
crazy.
it's almost like
Or
his
did you have
accent
something?
is so good that like it just doesn't seem right. You know, like his American accent is more
Right,
American
yeah,
than
it
we
just-
are.
Right,
Like-
right.
Yeah. Like everybody's
Of course, like-
got something. Everybody's got some sort of twang, but it's like super neutral.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, it
super
is. It's
neutral.
just like-
you know,
yeah.
like it's,
Yeah.
Might actually play into the character though, because it makes him
yeah.
seem batshit crazy,
Yeah.
which I think is what they're trying to hint at.
yeah, right.
I think I'm starting to wonder like how intentional it is. You know, when we all have that same thought, like did they intend to make that so that
Right.
it feels that way and it emotes that kind of emotion, which is crazy. So, Eric, you'll have to turn on Amazon Prime here again soon enough. As next on the rundown, we got the Terminal List official trailer release. Got really good look at this movie starring Chris Pratt.
Yeah, series.
Holy cow!
This is a series. Yeah,
I can't wait for this.
yeah. This looks freaking awesome. Like Chris Pratt's the James Reese character that Jack Carr, who's a former Navy SEAL, wrote. You know, he has this series that he's written. It's a huge book series. Everybody, you know, lots of people love it. So I'm really stoked to see it on the small screen, big screen. I guess I'm excited to see this character fleshed out. You know, so we're gonna get this first book in the series called The Terminal List. You know, and it kind of goes through the origin story of Reese and how he kind of becomes who he becomes and all that. So. Cast looks pretty good. We got a sneak peek of Taylor Kitsch. Looks like he's in it. Although I was checking IMDb, so it doesn't look like he's in it for long. But he's not long for.
Keeping him off. Yeah.
He's not long for the series, you know. But you know, the rest of the cast actually looks really, really good. The action looks phenomenal. Pratt's characters. Look and progression, at least in the trailer, he starts out very clean cut, you know, and then you could see there's a disheveled phase that he goes through, and then on to the what I am imagining is some sort of equalizer or revenge section of the movie or of the series, which I am looking forward to. But production quality looks amazing. You know, I was really impressed. So this is a series that I am highly anticipating. So, yeah.
I couldn't even tell it. He was so clean cut.
Yeah.
I was like, did they de-age him? You know, like
Right.
They
They
made
may
him
have,
look younger?
yeah, they may have in some of the scenes made him look a little bit
Yeah.
younger, but because I
No
can't
problem.
remember.
Well, Meg,
Go ahead.
I've been my audio's been lagging a little, so sometimes I can't tell if I'm like cutting you guys off or not. So just flip me off if I am. Meg, I'll go to you though, just to keep it going there.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see him in this type of role where he's not the lovable goofball comedy type of role. Like he definitely is a talented actor, and I think this is really going to show that. And it's amazing to have seen him as Andy Dwyer, and then as Star-Lord, you know, and now as this character. I'm really excited to see that.
He even in his other like big action movie last year in what was that movie called last year, Eric? Tomorrow War.
The Tomorrow War. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was even in, like he's that lovable kind of smartass in that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Except he was still kind of a badass.
For sure, definitely a badass, but he still had that like kind of
Right.
Star-Lord-y quality to him.
Yeah.
Here he just looks straight messed up. Bill,
Right.
what are you thinking the same thing? Getting the same
Yeah,
thing?
I'm a sucker for movies that are like the mind bender, you know, trying to figure out what's going on next. I like not being able to guess the ending to a show or a movie. And I know there's a lot of hate out there for Chris Pratt, but he is probably my favorite Chris.
Unwarranted.
Yeah, totally unwarranted. I'm a huge Chris Pratt fan. I've never seen anything with him in it that I didn't like. And I'm really excited for this one. This will be a good one, I think.
You and me are big Captain America fans. We have a big love for Chris Evans, but I also think that Chris Pratt is my favorite Chris. But
Yep.
Hemsworth it's like 1A, 1B for me, really.
It is. It is.
Everything
It
Hemsworth
really is.
I love him. Man. Yeah, it's definitely not Chris Prim though.
Chris
Or-
Pine. Chris Pine.
Prime.
Prime, yeah.
number.
So, Morgan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I'm excited for it. I love Chris Pratt, especially when he gets to play those military roles. He does a good job with it. So I don't know much about it other than what we've talked about already and in previous episodes, but I'm definitely going to put this one on. I'm going to check it out.
July 1st, it debuts. I don't know if I said Spiderhead's premiere date, which is June 15th. So 2 weeks after Spiderhead comes out, we get another looks like a banger of a movie. Very excited for it.
It's going to be a series. So the Terminal List is a series, and
So is it going to be Chris Pratt and all of them?
yes, yeah.
Oh wait.
Yep.
It's a TV show.
It is a TV show. Yep.
Yeah, it's a show.
Oh, and now I just remembered that from when we first talked about it. We were
Yep.
like, I thought it was a movie.
Yeah, no, it's a show, and it's
That's awesome.
because it's a book series, that Jack Carr has for this James Reese character. So it'll be similar in vein to like the Jack Ryan.
Nice.
We'll probably get 3 or 4 seasons. Hopefully we get 3 or 4 seasons out of it.
Well,
with Chris playing the James Reese character.
Pratt.
So I think it's gonna be good. Chris Pratt. Yep. Hey, Pratt. Yeah.
Is the book series of the same name, The Terminal List?
Yes, the first one in the series is called The Terminal List. Yeah, and it's great. It's a really good book. It's a fun book to read, so I think you guys will like it.
I think that lends more credibility to the rumor last week about Jack Ryan, this guy, and Without Remorse guy.
Right.
Why can't I remember?
John Clark. Michael B.
John
Jordan.
Clark. Jeez.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes. Teaming up for a Rainbow Six movie. So I think
That'd be interesting.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
that'd be interesting because the Rainbow Six doesn't quite. I mean, if you close to the book, it doesn't really. The Clark and the Jack,
Right.
the John Clark character is really the only one in Rainbow Six. Like you wouldn't have Jack Ryan in that. He doesn't really make an appearance in it. But hey,
And this guy's
I don't
not
care,
Tom
man.
Clancy,
Throw it
so I
all
don't see
together.
that
I'm good.
happening.
Yeah, I throw it all together. I'm good
Yeah.
with it.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it. Again, but this guy's not Tom Clancy, so I don't know
Right.
if I just disprove that rumor. Next on the rundown, we get a really quick teaser for also a new series coming out soon.
This is a movie. This is a movie.
This is a movie?
Yes.
Man,
Yep.
maybe I flipped them in my head.
I think so.
maybe
Yep.
that's- Yeah. Prey is a Predator prequel. I don't know much about it. We've mentioned on the show, this was like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Eric, take us away on what this trailer is.
Sure. So the trailer basically, well, the premise of the movie is that this takes place about 300 years ago, during like the height of the Comanche Nation power, and everything, and so a predator from the Arnold Schwarzenegger series and all that, our famous predator
Schwarzenegger
lands and proceeds to do what he does, which is take down anybody who's got a weapon. And it's directed by, I think it's directed by and I know it's starred by all like an almost all Native American or First Nations people out of Canada. So I think that's going to be super cool. I love anytime we get to kind of celebrate that side of our history, and I think it's going to be super cool to kind of go back to the first Predator movie. It starts out with that platoon of guys who are, they've got miniguns and they've got machine guns, but at the end of the movie, it's really just one dude, and he's using, for the most part, just regular weapons to defeat the Predator, and so I am really looking forward to seeing it, and you don't really see much in the trailer until the very, very end, you know, where the two people are like the guy knows that there's something in the woods there, you know, and then the girl looks at him and he's got the 3 lasers on his forehead and it's like, oh shit, you know. So, but like I said, there's several pieces that I really, really like to this. I really like that we're kind of going back to, I like that it's a prequel. I like that we're going back in time, but I also like that we're going back to like a more of a simple, a simpler 1v1 or, you know, types, you know, we're not
Back to
dealing
the
with a lot of
basics.
weapons, you know, we're gonna fight more hand to hand and they have to be more creative and more crap. So I'm actually really like, this trailer actually got me really excited, and even though it's just a little bit, so I'm a huge Predator nerd. So although funny little anecdote, I was scared to see Predator in the theater when I was a kid. You know, I think I was like 10 years old and I did not want to go see it. So my dad and my brother went and saw it, and I went and saw Harry and the Hendersons by myself. And because I was like, I'll go watch Harry and the Hendersons. And I don't regret that at all. Just so you know, I don't regret that at all. I love John Lithgow. So
Such a good movie.
yeah. And what's funny is Harry in that movie is played by a guy named Kevin Peter Hall. God rest his soul. And he also plays the Predator in the Predator movie. Like he played in both roles.
He wears the
He was like 7 feet tall, you know. And
nice.
I maybe when the movie gets closer, there's some really great trivia stuff, and I will definitely play the Jean-Claude Van Damme as the original Predator. We'll have to show everybody that because it is bad.
I would love to see that.
It's really bad. So, but yeah,
I love 80s Van Damme.
yep.
Morg, what did you think of? Not much of a look, but
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get as excited as Eric. You know, we didn't have much there. It looks, the premise is interesting. It looks neat, sounds neat, but I don't know if this is one where I'm like, yeah, I gotta make sure I check it out. Like I know that I'll just forget about it once it comes out. I probably won't watch it, and I'll completely forget all about it, and then we'll talk about it on here sometime. And go, yeah, I got to watch 4 seasons of it.
It's just a movie. It's just a movie.
It's just a movie.
It's just right. It's 90 minutes. It's most likely going to be 90 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. But you know.
I have messed everybody up.
Yeah,
Bill, you.
threw me off.
So
Go ahead, Bill.
I like that sort of the idea of, you know, I enjoyed watching the movie Cowboys and Aliens. So I sort of like the idea of you have Native Americans and then all of a sudden they introduce this technology. So I think it'll be sort of like that. I cannot tell you anything about the movie Cowboys and Aliens, but I know I enjoyed it. I think it'll probably be the same with this movie. The one thing I will say was really cool about the trailer, I liked that it was really short. I came across it and went into it not knowing that it was a Predator prequel. So I saw the title Prey and I thought of a game that I play called Prey. And I said, oh, maybe it's a remake of that. And I said, no, this is, you know, it's Native Americans running through the woods. You know, and then all of a sudden it's like at the very end, they get the 3 dots and I was like, what is this? Totally caught me off guard. And then I like had that light bulb moment. I was like, oh, it's Predator. And I got kind of excited for it. So I don't know. I think it's one I'll definitely watch. I'll probably have a lot of fun with it. I don't think it's something we're going to be breaking down on the podcast for the next several years.
Right.
May not have a review for that one.
Yeah.
But it is definitely it's in the nerd world. Meg, what did you think going into it? Coming out of it, I guess.
I mean, it's interesting. You know, I'm interested in it, but not to the level of any of you guys, I don't think.
You can say it, me. I'm the fanboy here. Okay, like I'm a Predator fanboy. All right.
And I never saw. You know, I know generally what the movies are about, but I never saw the Predator movies or anything, so that's not really high on my list.
Not okay. Okay, Meg, you gotta get on the Predator train. At least the first one.
It just seems too scary for me. I don't know.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel. I really do.
8-year-old Eric. That's exactly how you feel.
Yep.
The first one's really great. It's classic 80s action. So looking forward to watching the movie Prey. Next on the rundown, we got some new TV series updates or rumors to be, and we'll cover them all at once. So I'll just talk about it all at once. WandaVision director Matt Shakman did a great job on that TV show, has been tapped to helm the Godzilla and the Titans TV series, which takes place in the Godzilla versus Kong universe. And it's going to take place right after Godzilla King of the Monsters. So it'll actually even happen before Godzilla versus Kong. And it will be kind of about the the uprising of Monarch, which is one of the companies that's one of the evil corporations in that universe. So I don't know how much or if any Godzilla will even appear in it, but his name is there. We got word this week that it is official. Daredevil is in the works at Disney Plus.
Yeah, buddy.
Rumor is that it's a new and continued series. So what we don't know is that continue part from the Netflix show, or is this continuing from the MCU storyline? Very interesting. Can't wait to see what that is. But it will definitely have Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, attorney at law, and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. So very, very excited to see that come through. And then a rumor, if you watched What If, you know that one of the star characters of that TV series was Captain Carter, the Captain America variant, the Peggy Carter variant, where she becomes she takes the serum and becomes Captain America's character of her universe. And then she, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, also appears in live action as part of the Illuminati and Doctor Strange. And this is supposed to be a live action series that's rumored to be in development. So I'm going to start with Bill. Let's start with you, Yet. What do you think about these 3 shows in the works?
So, I mean, I'm not a big director person. I mean, I kind of just, look at it and decide if I'm going to like it regardless of who's helming it. Sure. So I don't really have anything as far as Godzilla goes. I mean, I'll definitely check it out when we know more. Daredevil, sort of the same thing. Kind of take it or leave it from me. So, I'll sort of see what I think when more comes out. Now, the Captain Carter series is interesting. I think for me personally, that episode of What If, the very first episode, was my least favorite. I think it was the weakest of the series. I don't very like her character. I thought it was really her character is really corny to me, which is weird because I'm a huge Captain America fan.
In the show or the Peggy Carter in general?
In the show, in What If.
In the show, okay. In What If, okay.
And in the movie.
As well in the movies.
Spoiler alert! I really didn't like her character.
Well, you take it or leave it. You maybe cut things in half. You cut things in half and you just deal with it. You deal with it. So
that's a good one, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still gonna check it out, but I don't have a lot of high hopes for it.
Interesting take on Daredevil. Did you watch the Netflix Daredevil show?
I did not, and it's funny because Brett and I actually just had this conversation this past week, and he was telling me I really need to go watch it. Now, when I was a kid, I watched the movie, and I know it's not a fan, but when I was a kid, I liked it. I thought it was really cool.
Sure. Yeah.
You need to watch the show.
It's if we're doing Mount Rushmore TV shows, it's on my Mount Rushmore. So maybe someday in the future we do that episode because it's phenomenal. Morg, what do you think about these 3 shows in the works?
Yeah, the Godzilla one has potential to be fun. We'll see. Hopefully they get rid of the human element for that show. I just want to see him fight. Blow things up.
They're upping the human element in this.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably
going to get more human.
Yeah. What people don't want.
Yeah. That's upsetting.
Yeah, exactly. They're going the opposite direction.
Complete opposite direction of what we want. Daredevil, of course, I'm pumped for. They better do it right. I hope it's just as brutal, just as thought-provoking, just as deep and dark as the Netflix one. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm a little nervous, especially with how things have been going. And then Captain Carter, yeah, I mean, I agree with Bill on this one. I just don't like her character really, based on what I've seen. It seems weird seeing her do stuff like certain things and saying certain things. It just is like no, don't use.
I wasn't happy about the. I wasn't
Yeah.
happy about that line.
Yeah, like that's a Roger.
That was one of my biggest gripes too. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll probably watch it. But I'm not excited for it.
Okay. I feel you. I'm right there with you. I'll give you my takes real quick. So yeah, I'm like you, Bill. Great job, Matt Shackman on WandaVision, but I'm not like tuning in because he's the director.
Right.
I am interested to know more about that Godzilla show and what the heck it's going to be. I did the Daredevil TV series for life, for the rest of my life. That was the only topic I ever talked about for the rest of my life. I could do it. And I cannot wait for this, but I also... My heart beats a little bit fast just for my love of Daredevil. Please do right by the character. I feel the same way about Captain Carter. Like I don't mind Captain Carter. I'm not asking for more of her. She's not a comic character. You know, I can't believe that they don't just call her Captain Britain and have that comic moniker finally in the MCU. And I did not like her using Cap's line in that movie. So if you have on one end of the spectrum, you have in Ghostbusters Afterlife, you have Bokeem Woodbine's character giving a great callback to a previous movie where he walks up to the jail cell and he's like, who are you going to call? You know, like that was a good callback. This felt contrived and they thought it was going to hit harder than it did. Not good. So, and she got cut down. Meg, where are you at on?
Torn in half on that one.
I don't know. Godzilla, I don't really care. Captain Carter, I don't really know anything about. Don't really care. Daredevil, I'm currently watching the Netflix. Well, it's on Disney now, but I'm watching that. I think I'm on only episode 2 or something like that. Cut Man, I know is the
first
name
season.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm chugging along.
You're right in it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a little slow the first 4 episodes, but
I was gonna say
it is a little slow.
I'm still waiting for that because I know you guys have talked about it and how much you love it, and I'm still waiting to get to that point. I haven't reached that point where I'm like, okay, this is why they love the show. But you know, once I get there, then I'll give you my opinion. Yes.
Get through the first 4 episodes. Once Kingpin comes in the show, the dynamic of the show immediately changes, and it's fantastic. Eric, my man.
Jackson and I will be in attendance for Godzilla and the Titans TV show for sure. He and I love that stuff.
And this is a TV show.
Yes. So
Make it clear.
we'll definitely be watching that one together. Daredevil, heck yeah, I will be there for that one opening night, and I will be super excited to watch that one. I have no doubts on that one. You know, the creative team I think is still the same one as it was before, still in place. I think maybe they'll get a bigger budget, maybe not. Who knows? You know, but that series was never really based on a lot of special effects and stuff anyhow, so I don't really see how that, you know, could impact it. The Captain Carter, I don't care. You know, I really don't. I don't think. I didn't watch What If, so I don't have any frame of reference for that. My only reference for that character is from the Doctor Strange, and maybe I have a bit different take than the rest of you guys on it. she is bitter. She is bitter in that, and she is the way she is because of what her Doctor Strange did, and her viewpoint of what Doctor Strange represents. So I get where she's coming from. I understand her level of arrogance doesn't strike me as what Captain America is, and I think maybe that's the part that rubs people the wrong way, but like anything, like I said earlier, you cut all your problems in half, and things are they kind of shake out.
You have half your problems.
Well, you've got a top half and a bottom half to each problem, or and that's just how it goes, but so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I
like it. That was fire ass take, massive fire ass take right there. Good job. Very interesting perspective, since you didn't watch What If, and Bill and I have watched What If. Your take on Captain Carter's different from Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Interesting. Last on the rundown, we have Netflix. A lot of Netflix stuff. Netflix released the first 8 minutes and some details on season 4 of Stranger Things. I stayed away from it because I want to go into that season fresh, but I know Eric was very excited about it and loved it.
Yes.
So Eric, tell us a little bit more without giving away too much.
Sure. The first 8 minutes are keys to and kind of change things up a little bit on how things started with 11 and the other kids in the movie, in the series. So, and by what I mean by the other kids is the other kids that were in the research center with her. And so it's pretty interesting. And whoever supplied all the fake blood they've turned a pretty penny. I can tell you that much on that. So it's pretty shocking, but we did get a lot of details on the series itself, so we got, it's season 4. It's going to be split in 2. So the first half, I guess, is going to debut on May 27th, so next Friday. But the way they broke it up was they're going to do it in 2 volumes, and so the first volume is actually 7 episodes, and then the second volume starts July 1st, which I think we'll go back to our canceling Netflix question there, Bill, the comment that you made earlier. That one that second half doesn't start till July 1st. So, and that will have 2 episodes in it. So the first,
so there's your 9 episodes.
Right. Okay. Right. But what they did say was that this season is the longest. Even though it's 9 episodes, it's the longest ever, because the first three of the first 4 episodes are 75 minutes long or more.
Holy shit! Really?
Right,
wow.
Right.
Wow.
And then the 7th episode is an hour and 38, and the 8th episode is an hour and 25.
I bet this is the final season.
Yep. And then the 9th episode, 2.5 hours.
Oh,
the 9th episode is almost the full. Is basically episode? A full. Yep, is basically a full-length movie. Yep.
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not going to be one that we can just watch like after the kids go to bed on a work night. This is going to be like Saturday night type.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck binging this one. That's the thing. But
that's incredible.
But we've had this conversation. We've had this talk before about streaming and how they can't really make this dump everything in one drop on you, have this binge watch thing anymore, because they especially with how many viewers they're losing, they're gonna break it up over 3 months basically. So you can watch it on May 27th, and you can pay for your May, and then you I doubt you'll be able to get through it before June hits, so then you got to pay for June. And then if you're going to do June, you got to do July too, because that's when the second. So they got you for 3 months, just like that. It's brilliant. I mean, it's really smart. But I think that's how they're going to have to do it moving forward. I mean, if you have to see things like right away, if you want to see things right away.
Yeah.
If you don't want to just rotate out, which a lot of people do because there's no contracts or anything. But anyhow, that's a different conversation.
Details.
Yeah. So Stranger Things season 4 starts next Friday. Friday the 27th. Wow. This is and what I saw the
Just
first
got
few
me so pumped.
the first 8 minutes I just watched, I'm like, I cannot wait.
Give me more.
I cannot wait. So I remember my daughter Lexi, my oldest, she I think she was, whenever season 3 dropped, she watched it in one day. Like I think she called in sick from school and watched the entire show all day, and that was it. Like she finished it like 11 o'clock at night. She goes, "I just finished Stranger Things. It was amazing." And I'm like, "It just came out today." She goes, "I know, it was awesome."
I'll never forget watching that first season was it was literally magic. It was so magical. And then the second season was, except for one episode, was right up there, had one of the best endings to a season ever, with the little boys at the dance and how cute that whole thing was. But then it panned away and turned upside down, and it showed that the upside down world is coming for them. Yeah. And I cannot wait to see what's in store. And I feel like I bet that means that you can't have a season finale be a feature length movie and there be more, right? Like that.
Yeah, if only there was like
it's gotta be over.
It's only if there was like another TV series that was based like on a book series that maybe had taken like that final episode and made it a 2.5-hour movie and like really finished that series off. That would have been cool.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's just kicking it around.
Gonna move on. Gonna move on to birthdays. We've got a couple of very notable birthdays. One being Jack Gleason turns 30, and if you know that name, then you know who I'm talking about, and if you don't, then you know King Joffrey. You know that name, and you know
Batman
just
Begins.
how one of the worst villains of all time on TV
Speaking of the devil.
came to be from that from that character. And yeah, he got his start in Batman Begins as the kid on the balcony that was a toy tune.
Gives him the toy.
I really wish they could have turned that kid into somebody in the series, but it would be cool to gets.
He walked away from Hollywood. He completely walked away from it.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did.
Yep.
He retired after Game of Thrones. He was done.
Thrones, yep.
Yes.
Probably was tired of all the hate.
Yeah, playing such a despicable character,
Yeah.
but only to be outdone by other guys in that series.
It is a very good debate who's the worst villain.
Yeah. To me, there's no debate. Like and it's not him. Like I don't think him.
No, it's definitely Ramsey.
Yeah.
Ramsey.
Yeah.
It's definitely Ramsey.
But I also feel like there's a bit like we've seen more of Ramsey, or we saw him more recently, and so there's a little bit of bias in that. If you go back and you watch those first couple seasons and how bad that dude was, King Joffrey, we get reminded real quick. So we have Jack Gleason turning 30, and then we have one of our just good friends of the show. I would love to interview this guy someday. Timothy Olyphant.
Ah, yes.
He's 54 years old today,
he's a good one.
and probably more handsome than he's ever been.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Raylan Givens.
Raylan
He's
Givens.
just like
There might not
fine
be a better set of silver hair than Timothy Olyphant. I mean, he looks good. Going gray. So
we'll put a picture of him up and make sure that it's not his doppelganger.
yeah, don't put it.
Josh Duhamel.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Is it Josh Duhamel or is it Timothy Olyphant? I'm like, well, they just are basically one and the same
guy.
Anyway,
Same
guy. Same guy.
We could do that on our next game. We show them and we got to guess which one is which.
Yeah.
And then the next round, we just have the same pictures and confuse it.
It'll be that Jenna or what's the Pam meme?
In the office.
Yeah.
They're the same picture.
They're the same picture.
So we salute you at the Nerd Rundown, Timothy Oliphant and Jack Leeson. Thank you for giving us so many great characters over the years. Happy birthday. On to the Nerd Box. We mixed it up a little bit this week from the Nerd Box. We pulled a question down from Twitter, and I saw this and I was like, whoa, I don't know how I can answer this. So it gives 6 movies, and it says, keep 2, cut the other 4 out from the existence. And well, I thought I had it up here, but I don't. Let me get it real quick. Sorry. Okay, here it is. So you have, and Eric, I can send you this picture so you can put it up on recording, so that everybody can see it. But you have top row, you have Casper, and this is from 1995, which is another banger of a year of movies. Not quite to the level of 96, but quite honestly, maybe in my own heart, maybe. So it has Casper, Braveheart with Mel Gibson, Bad Boys, Mortal Kombat, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and Tommy Boy. So you have...
Yikes.
First of all, cut Casper out real quick, right? But then... and then maybe Mortal Kombat, and then it's down between Braveheart, Bad Boys, Tommy Boy, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, and I have to keep 2. I think I'm going with. I've thought about this all day. I'm going with Bad Boys, and I'm going with Die Hard with a Vengeance, because I still have Black Sheep and I still have Gladiator. So that's my reasoning for keeping those 2. Not to put anybody on pressure on anybody, so I don't want to call anybody. If anybody's ready, go ahead and raise your hand, and you can go. Eric, you ready?
Yeah.
Kind of ready.
I will definitely say I'm going to go with Bad Boys also, and Tommy Boy. I could quote both those movies. And honestly, if you just gave me those 2 movies for the rest of my life, I'd be fine. You know, like I'd be absolutely fine.
Be totally fine.
Yeah, totally fine. I love both those movies, and that's not to say anything bad about Die Hard with a Vengeance and Braveheart, because both those movies are just tremendous and incredible movies. Braveheart is a cinematic masterpiece. Like, it's an epic masterpiece. It really is. And then Die Hard with a Vengeance is just a tremendous action movie, you know, and there was a bit of a letdown with Die Harder, you know, Die Hard 2, but when the third one came around, when they added Samuel Jackson in there, it was just awesome. But yeah, those are my 2, Bad Boys and Tommy Boy. So
I will say that I chose Die Hard with a Vengeance, even though Die Hard's out there. That's just how much I love Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's like I can't live without that movie. So who else Bill, you look like you're ready.
I'm ready.
Let's see it. Let's hear it.
So since you were so quick to throw Casper out there, I mean, I am going to say, look, I was 6 years old in 1995. And I loved Casper. That was
6 years old.
One of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm the young one of the group.
I was a year out of high school at that point.
So I'm going to go with Casper because I loved that movie growing up. And then I'm going to go for Tommy Boy for exactly the same reason that Eric said. It is infinitely quotable. It's one of those movies like Forrest Gump or Christmas Vacation. You can just put it on over and over and over again, and it is still friggin' funny.
Yep.
One of the best all-time sales movies. One of the best all-time comedies. Chris Farley puts in an all-time performance. I'll never forget my dad watching that movie the first time, and the scene where the deer tore the car up.
Oh,
I have never heard that man laugh so hard in his life. And to this day, I've heard him die laugh almost. Doesn't touch that scene. I will never forget that. That will forever stick with me. Megan Morg, the comedy duo.
I'm ready.
Meg, you look like you're ready.
Unless you want to go, Meg.
I'm the same as Eric. Bad Boys and Tommy Boy for the exact same reasons. I could just watch that. I haven't watched Bad Boys in a really long time, I feel like, but it's one of those movies you can put on at any point in the movie, and the same as Tommy Boy. You just put it on, and it's always funny. So those are my two.
I get it. I get it.
I did love Casper when I was a kid, but I don't.
And how old were you when it came out, Meg?
You can't ask her that. You can't ask a woman how old she is.
I think it was 8.
God, I'm old.
Yeah. Well, we all know that.
Yeah, I know.
We don't choose when we're born, and you know what? It's one of those things that I'm like, people, when they're like, oh, you're too young to remember this. I go, oh, really? Have you seen The Wizard of Oz? Because that came out before you were born.
Right.
Like, it one of those things. We don't get to choose when we're born. Mark, who you cutting? Who you keeping?
Hey, you guys, can't believe you left out Mortal Kombat. No, I'm leaving it out
That
too.
theme song?
I'm leaving it out too. Die Hard and Tommy.
Mortal Kombat.
Ba, 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 da, 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 da.
Yes.
You're in your living room.
My
kicking
buddies and I
stuff
used to run around. Oh yeah, you would put that on and you would fly around your house just doing jump kicks like Liu Kang, we'd all just be, doing so much cardio in the form of Mortal Kombat. This was a tough question, but I mean, Braveheart is I think we have not talked about Braveheart enough on this show, and we need to figure out how we can do that in a presents, because it deserves every bit of recognition that it gets. And Mel Gibson, 90s it's hard to beat 90s Mel Gibson. It's one of my favorite eras of actors, and Braveheart is a big piece of that. So I shed a tear thinking about getting rid of Braveheart. But all right, well, that was a big rundown. Thanks everybody for great takes. I laughed a lot. Eric, you're on a roll. I can't wait to jump on the presents, and we're gonna play a game. The game maker. I don't know if that comes out right, but making a lot of games, Meg. Yeah.
I'm the game maker.
I'm the game maker. So Meg's made another game for us. We're gonna go have some fun with that. It's all Marvel in that game, so can't wait to see how much I feel like I know about Marvel.
I'm gonna get destroyed. I know.
Movie scores.
It's all scores.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, no, I still am gonna get destroyed. I can tell you.
I think it's gonna be tough. I feel like I only know a few, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Thanks everybody for joining. With that being said, see you all next week on the Nerd Rundown.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Doses.